Good day, degenerates, and welcome to the NotACult podcast, where each session I am joined by my three associates, and we discuss carefully curated topics, ranging from gaming news to the deeper philosophical questions of life and other truly degenerate topics. Since this is our first episode, let's introduce ourselves. First up is my dear friend Retro.
Good morning, everybody. My name is David. Go by Retro Sugar on the internet. I'm a streamer on Twitch, a variety streamer, and currently going through college. Nothing else is interesting about me for now.
All right, next up, Craze.
I'm your lovable brown boy. Thank you for having me. My name is Craze. I go by It's Craze FTW. I'm a Twitch streamer, variety streamer, and an anime weeb at that.
Nobody could tell. Nobody could tell. For everybody that doesn't have visuals with this, Craze is in full kimono with a samurai wig. Anyway, next, the enigmatic Vin Megami Tensei. Vin, what the hell is up with you, man?
Nothing, not much. Thanks for asking. My name is Vin, and I'm a crazy cat boy. And I live in the distant lands of the planet Brazil. And what do you mean Crazy is wearing a wig? I thought it was his hair.
I mean, yeah, that's his hair. Totally. 100%. All right. Lastly, I'm your host, Degradation. I am a bearded Dutch boy that started streaming at the start of this year. I'm known for my love of horror media, be it games, movies, books, or art. I make music, graphic design, and art among other creative outings. And I am an avid lover of craft beer and anything nerdy and expensive. I did not write all of this down. This was just off the top of my head. This did not sound rehearsed at all. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, here's the rules. We each have a topic to discuss, and we'll alternate amongst each other. So if my topic is finished, we'll go on to the next. In between topics, we'll catch up on chat, and we'll answer any questions you degenerates might have. Right, let's kick things off with my first topic. I wanted to set a tone. So, guys, I wanted to know your opinion about euthanasia. Do you think it should be legalized everywhere? Craze. I see Craze's face.
I swear to God, bro. Yo, I said this to you yesterday. I knew this had to come to me.
Wait, is this a not okay topic for you? Otherwise, we'll just move on.
No. I'm okay with that.
Good.
I just tell you about the children thing, but euthanization.
Yes.
Holy shit, bro. I mean, I know there's some people out there that shouldn't be procreating, and
right.
The demons spawn around us because trying to get rid of people like that.
I mean,
But-
people that want to put an end to their suffering, basically, but don't want to do it themselves. That's a big topic in the Netherlands these days.
Bro. Oh, wait, you talking about killing themselves, or I'm thinking about children.
euthanasia. No.
No. You've got assisted suicide,
Euthanasia
which is
is-
different, and euthanasia is you go to a doctor and
Okay.
ask him to end your life for you.
Okay,
It's a big topic in the
I was thinking about
Netherlands
the
these
other one.
days.
Really, it is.
It is. It really is.
Okay. I mean, I gotta be honest, man. Everybody has their own choice. It's up to you, man. Like, I don't believe in like everything is that bad at the moment. Things can get better, even when you're sick, man. Like, I think there's always that extra little opportunity for you to push forward and get some, make something a better of your life. But if you're just saying that just out of a whim, we gotta be careful, because this generation is quick with it. They're quick to say, "Oh, I'm gonna pass.
Right.
I want to kill myself. I want to do this." Like, I think you really got to go through a process.
I'll hit you with a retort to that thing. What you were saying, Craze. That we need to try harder. I'll hit you with a controversial retort, and that's my great belief that the world is very overpopulated, and that we need to reinstate some semblance of how do you call it? The right of the strongest, or natural selection. That's the word I'm looking for. It's just natural selection, but a modern iteration on it. So why not make it as easy as possible? In light of all these things, we're with too many people, and some people that have a really tough time that they come to reach this decision. Why not make it as easy as possible?
All right, then. Since you hit me with it before you go into somebody else.
Yeah,
It's about
I'd like to
survival
hear
of-
anybody's
it-
opinion on this, really.
Yeah, it's about survival of the fittest, right? Kind of. That's what you kind of said about it.
I guess
Survival
so,
of the
but
fittest,
like the
strongest
modern
survive, right?
edition of that, right?
If you fall under that category, when you have a weak moment in your life, you think that'll distinguish if you're weak? Powerful man like yourself, but all of us have a moment of weakness.
I've had a moment of weakness myself, and I came coming close to thinking about it.
To me, it depends on the situation. Like euthanasia is basically if you have cancer and you know it's basically not for you. Like, for example, my uncle last year died of cancer in DR, and he had to spend millions of Dominican pesos and millions. Took basically half his worth. He had a lot of money, but half of that was lost, to get a fighting chance and whatnot. He wanted a
fighting, right.
fighting chance, good for him. But there are some people that think, in a different way, and they say like, oh shit, instead of wasting all this money on something I know there's only like a 10% chance of me surviving, I would like to go in an unpainful way and just leave this money to all my family, this money I worked for. So I
Right.
see both sides. Depends. Like I know Crazy was bringing something else up, probably misunderstood. But it's not really just people say like, "Oh, I have a little foot pain, kill me," or whatever. It's like most of the cases when it's like medical assisted suicide is that you have a disease that's not treatable, that's slowly killing you, and you rather instead of wasting all
Right.
that money or stuff like that, or killing yourself in a worse way, like by jumping off a bridge or whatever, it's like putting down a dog for humans essentially. So you make the decision that okay, I know I don't have the money or I don't want to put my family through this. This will leave them better off and not go in a peaceful way in my sleep, which is how most humans, when you ask them, how do you want to go? I want to go peacefully in my sleep. You're basically doing that for them. That's the way I see it. And at the end of the day, it's like, it should be up to that person. Like that person talk to his family and come to a conclusion and then they do it. It'll be fucked up if you just go and do it and leave a note behind. That's my 2 cents.
I totally agree because I think there should be a system in place, which there is, to like prolong the decision a little bit, like make it make people have to think about it for a good couple of months before it actually happens. But it should definitely be an option, I think. And in the Netherlands, it's mostly concerning like very old people that have not a very high quality of life anymore. That's the main thing. And then they're suffering from some kind of horrible lung disease or something, and it's starting to become semi-legal in the Netherlands, right? So there is a chance you'll get it accepted, but then they're in the process for 2.5 years and in terrible pain for that duration. It's not great. Finn, any thoughts?
Yes, I have a lot of thoughts concerning this topic.
I expected that.
I mostly agree with you guys when it comes to euthanasia. I mean, the government in general shouldn't have the rights to dictate your right to live or die. But then we get a lot of different problems that ramificate from this one, which is when to draw the line and what is accepted or not. Like only in terminal cases. If I'm really like depressed, I don't want to live anymore, but I'm like 20 years old. Why is this illegal? That's
Right.
complicated because I don't advocate suicide or anything like that. But it's also really difficult to decide when the line is gonna be drawn. Right? It's only for terminal cases. That's what we've been seeing to be most acceptable. And then there's also you should do this only on a clinic. What happens if I ask somebody to help me? Is this person like a murderer, or like helping me to go through something that I wish, but I'm not like in the full capabilities of my sanity, of my psychological health. So there's a lot of variables that this topic brings when you start to think like it's really attached to the freedom of choice. And sometimes
Yeah.
freedom of choice is not actually a choice, but most like a consequence of maybe psychological problems that are treatable and don't really need to result in death.
Yeah, you're right. And it's never black and white, right? The whole problem is that everybody wants a sweeping solution for this. Like it's either okay or it's not okay, and it's not that simple. It has to be reviewed on a case by case basis. Same with lots of things, with education, with crime, with everything, and there's just not enough people or resources to do that.
And also one curious thing that I have in my mind:
Yep.
how would be the quality of work of somebody that works with that, like how they would keep their sanity when they work by killing people, by finishing people's life, not killing people, but
Definitely, yeah.
finishing people's lives, because you see, when you go like to a slaughterhouse, the guy who actually pulls the gun on the cow, the air gun. These guys normally have like a very desensitivization from life. They get really they start to
Cold-blooded.
feel yeah, they get really cold-blooded. And imagine doing that to other human beings. That's gonna be, you're gonna need a lot of resources for mental care for all these people that are working this field.
I mean, I think doctors go in it with that regardless, because I think it's even worse when they kill people accidentally. Like, oh, I tried my best to save this person. So I think they're
I
kind of
disagree.
mentally prepared. Yeah,
I
it's gonna be a whole
disagree.
different process. Yeah, but going back to what you said about somebody assisting you, that's highly illegal here. Even if you leave a note, yo, I want Retro to kill me. I trust him. I love him, and I want him to be the one. I still go to jail. Fuck, you still go to jail if you jump off a building here. You survived, and they revived you just to throw you in jail.
Fuck.
So, because you killing yourself or attempting suicide is also illegal.
And that all
Normally,
has
it's
its
not
root.
jail. Normally, they send you to one of those loony bins or try to get you as much help as possible. But you'll still be incarcerated in one form or another if you attempt
You'll be
suicide. It's highly
forced to do
illegal
it.
either
Yeah.
way.
And highly in debt, right?
Mhm.
Now, now I gotta chime in on this one because, like you said before, I wasn't confused in the question. Is that it's not that simple. It's not about. I understand the process when it comes to like older generation. I've been through it myself, where we have to decide, is that person capable of coming back and having a normal life? Is that person able to be revived in the first place, or is it even viable? Like we've had to pull the cord on relatives who are basically, brain dead. So I get that point. That's a one-sided thing. But everything, there's a broader spectrum to every decision. If you say, oh, it's about just giving the person the choice to end their life, an older generation, understandable. But when you give that option, you have to understand that option is available to everybody. When everybody has the right to do something, they fight for it, and it becomes a bigger topic. It just doesn't say, "Oh yeah, older people, not not necessary." It's humane to let them go. But then the younger generation, like I reiterate, like Fonch also said in the chat, they're somebody had a bad day. Everybody doesn't understand what they're going through. Oh, I don't want to live in. We've had everybody in my own community. We've had multiple scares with kids under the age of 18 always throwing that I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Say that the older generation has the option to end their life, and they have it too, and we allow that. You think that that's weak-minded? You think that that's a weaker generation? So to cap it off, yeah. For the older ones, yeah, give them the right to do it. My grandfather said it clearly. My grandfather went to 2 cancers, prostate to brain cancer. He said he went to the first treatment of chemotherapy. He said for the second time, he was like, I'm not doing this again. Let me live my life. Let me go back to my home country. Let me live out the rest of my days happy and not consistently being treated and feeling worse. And he went his own way. He
Yeah,
went his
that's
own
what
way.
my uncle did. He died in the countryside that he was
Mhm.
in. But touching on Fonch's thing, what she's saying is that she saw a documentary where that young lady was crippling depressed. She did try everything, including electroshock therapy. And then after all of that, working with psychologists, then they approved her, the doctor ended her life. Like if that's the process, cool, but it's not gonna be. I don't think it will ever be a button that you could just call a hotline like, "Yo, I'm tired of this shit. Come off me now." Even like to slightly go off topic, but even when you're transgendering or you're changing your gender from one to another, it's a whole psychological process behind that as well. Like you have to go through therapy. You
You
gotta
don't
make
just do
sure.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't just like chop off your dick and put it on your vagina. No, you have to go through therapy. Everything. I think I'm always for human rights. Like I've never myself made a girl have an abortion, but I'm not gonna take away Vince or Crazy's or Dedge's right to do it if they decide to, or their wives decide to do it. Just give everybody the option. Just because it's there doesn't mean I'm gonna take it, but at the same time, I don't want to take somebody else's option to do it. That's just how I see things. Same thing with gay marriage, everything. Let everybody give everybody the option. It doesn't apply to me directly, so it doesn't affect me. So I'm not gonna take their right to do it. So if it could be done, like Craze was pulling up, and everybody has said, in a more manner that's organized and actually being treated with professionals, have these people really help you if it's the case that Craze said about a young dude, his girl cheated on him, so he wants to kill himself. That's his first go-to. Yeah, tell him, yeah. He goes to the doctor, and the doctor's just gonna send him to a psychologist, help him out, and he goes on his way. I don't think for cases like that anybody would just automatically approve. Yeah, let's kill little Timmy because little Timmy got cheated on when he was 14 years old. I don't think that's really gonna be ever the case. It's just
I mean,
but give
that
people
can be
the
very
option.
like.
But me, it's mostly for medical reasons that I agree with it. There could be a case like the one Fonch brought up where it was so fucked up that even electroshock therapy didn't help that case. And yeah, that girl, she made her decision. Let her be happy with it. If her and her family are happy, well, I don't think her family will ever be happy with it. But if it made her happy because just living was misery for her to the point psychologists couldn't help her, then yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's put a pin on that one for now. We're not here to uh, get it to any definitive conclusions or whatever. We're just here to talk about it. Um, though I think we're kind of on the same page at the end.
Damn it! I thought we were deciding that for once and for all.
For the world,
For the
we're
world.
Yeah,
making
for
the
the world.
law.
Yeah,
Yeah, in my
we're like
opinion,
deciding things.
just fucking legalize it, man. Just legalize it.
I was about to go get that that life insurance real fast.
Oh shit, that's another nuance we haven't talked about. Anyway, so this is so the first time we're trying to learn here, and I'm closing off the first topic. For those of you listening, we are also having a live chat chiming in every now and then. That's why you'll hear the name Fonch, and now the name Aaron, because Aaron says, "Is there a process to it? The euthanasia process in the Netherlands, I believe he's talking about. For example, are there psychologists and docs involved, evaluations, etc.? My concern would only be with what Cray said. Some dope has a bad day and off himself, right? Because the reason why I think that this process would be way better is just because of that. There will be a procedure you go through, right? You can't just up and off yourself, like you say. You can't like kick the chair from under you and dangle a bit and it's done. You have to go to a doctor first, and there is going to be a second opinion aside from your own. And that's what's happening in the Netherlands now too, but we also have the problems with doctors not wanting to do it, which is totally fair, right? But nobody really wants to do it. And there's a whole lot of shit like what we just talked about.
Topic. What's
It-
the second topic, sir?
Second topic I was thinking of. So
Wait, Vin has something to say.
yeah, sure.
No problem. No problem. I
No,
don't want to extend this topic.
No,
too
no, no,
much.
no, 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 no. You can
It's
you can
just
have
that
the
I-
last word today
All right.
on this topic.
It's just that it's well, like when Retro said that the doctors are prepared. You be prepared for like an accident when you're like a surgeon. It's all right. It's normal. It's part of the job. But another thing is like pulling the thing. You know,
Yeah.
consciously doing it. It's like a very different feeling. It affects in a very more intense way. You're like deciding if this person lives or dies. The other person is actually deciding because it's their choice, but you're the one that actually signing the papers and doing all the medication and all this kind of stuff that's going to turn this person off, you know. So that it's very normal actually that the doctors don't want to do that.
Yeah, I
Especially
agree with
if
Yeah.
normally doctors work, considering that doctors are like trustable, uh, doctors normally work to save lives, you know. So that's
Yeah.
kind of shocking to what they're doing in
Well,
their
if you
Yeah,
jobs.
look at
I
it
agree with you.
broader, they work to help people, and this is also a way of helping people. So, but
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with
I
Vin,
wouldn't be able to do it. So,
but I think yeah, just like everything, doctors don't take on every job. If a doctor sees me, he's like, oh, I don't want to do the weight loss surgery on him because I believe he could do it himself. He has all the right to. So it would be in each
right.
country, whatever doctors are or the humans are the most fucked up or cold hearted are the ones performing the euthanasia, then cool. But have some people there. This cold hearted doctors, I know a few of them will probably do it for a buck or two.
Right. All right. Fawn says, I think it's a good idea to have a choice. Like Retro said, I highly doubt Ireland would ever go for it. Though it's God's choice when you leave this world. Bullshit. Right. Religion is a whole different. That complicates it even more, right? And that's fair. But my personal take on it is that shouldn't be a factor. If life becomes unbearable and you want to end it, I feel like that's also could also be interpreted as God's will, perhaps.
And Mrs. Hyde from chat says she agrees. It's like putting down a suffering animal. Why can't humans have the right if they go through the proper process of doing so, basically?
Exactly.
So, yeah, and that's basically the general consent for this topic. If Grace doesn't want it to be, well, you call a hotline and kill yourself, everybody agrees. Everybody agrees that it should be a process you go through and get medical help, and then they determine. Like if a doctor is telling you, "Yo, your risk for cancer is low, is only 10%," you could actually go through with it. Stop that euthanasia bullshit that you have in your head, and let the doctor decide at the end of the day.
Holy shit! Did we get a conclusion anyway? Fuck.
There
I'm
you
calling
go.
the UN here. I'm calling the
Yeah,
UN.
it seems to be. It seems to be. It
Yes,
seems. It
yes.
seems to be. I'm the focal point on the opposition apparently, but through the retro.
No, I'm not attacking you. Well, you did bring up a good point with the little kids in the Discord and all of that. That's
Definitely,
why I
yeah.
brought it up that way.
I don't think there's an opposition here. We're all on the same team, but with slightly different angles, and that's okay. That's okay, everyone. Everybody that's listening right now that's fucking pissed off, good. Stay angry. Stay angry and follow me on Twitch. Anyway,
Send hate mail.
next topic I thought would be a good one to transition into, just because it's, well, not completely the opposite, but the other side of this podcast, the Blizzard controversy submitted by Retro Sugar. But very
Submitted
much...
by me.
No, by Craze. I see it now. Craze.
Exactly. Yeah, Craze, take it off because I know you have the most info on this topic.
I'm gonna need to get my buddy Vin involved in this one because that's my personal encyclopedia, my database.
Whatever you
Well,
need, man.
the the issue with the whole Blizzard situation, to anybody out there who hasn't been up to date with what's going on, there was a lot of incriminating evidence that came up against one of the huge publishers in the gaming industry, Activision Blizzard, most specifically Blizzard, the game developer that they have under their control. Turns out that amongst everybody in the hierarchy in the administration, there was a very toxic frat mentality. When I say frat mentality, is more of like a college kid. We're gonna okay, sorry for my French out here. We're gonna fuck everything in that office, and y'all can't say shit about
No,
it
our
because I'm your
sponsors.
boss, and you gotta do this. That was apparent. And if you hear this from me and you say, "Wow, really something like that?" No, that can't be. Not in a professional environment, but yes, it does exist. And to go a little and to give an even worse example, they would do what's called cubicle crawls. And me and Retro, we actually spoke about this. These guys will crawl under the female workers' cubicles from cubicle to cubicle to look up their skirts. They had a so-called Bill Cosby suite, a personal hotel room, and a little private chat that they would hold, saying to bring all the women here to this room, to the Bill Cosby suite. Now, that doesn't mean they're gonna go there, have a pajama party, watch Bananas in Pajamas, and have a little sleepover and Netflix and chill. No, you already know the whole concept behind Bill Cosby. That's where they're going with this. So, unfortunately, there was a loss of a life. One of the female employees who was experiencing this, who had a relationship with one of the one of the admins, one of the bosses, actually decided to take her life, committed suicide because of all the stuff that she was going through, personal, work, and of course all the stuff they were making her do. So, the loss of a life, the toxic
There,
environment, all this stuff,
there's
all
one
got
aggravating thing, Chris, in
yeah. Go
the
ahead.
loss of life thing, is that the employer actually took a butt plug to a company trip to use on her, and he shared personal, intimate pictures with the coworkers, and that's why she took her life. You know, she was
Fuck. Yeah.
publicly humiliated in the corporate ambient. So that's why it concerns to Blizzard, because everything happened when they were doing a corporate trip, and happened inside the corporation. You know.
Yeah. It, it's harsh. It's harsh because this is one of the biggest developers in the gaming industry. We're talking about 30 years. Top dog. Games like World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm. Those games that everybody knows and loves. And even if you don't like them, you know who they are. These guys are the tippity top when it comes to these games to developers because they house a lot of people.
Yeah,
They house a
Diablo.
lot of employees. Like
Like
these aren't
2000,
little
right?
games. Well, I think more than that. This is like one of the only developers and publishers that actually has a working crew for every game. Unlike other publishers who has a huge a development team that they share amongst every single one. No, they have dedicated employees for each thing. So one of the ways for them to kind of like apart from the lawsuits that they have and this consistent lawsuits that have been being proposed, they did a walkout. They did a full-fledged walkout on the company, and us who aren't part of their problem that support them in their their times of trouble. We decided a lot of people is to support them, and one way was to boycott the company. We uninstalled their games. We didn't play their games for I think it was a couple of days. To this day, I haven't touched the game that I loved. I've been playing for the past 7 years. This is what made my stream career. My stream career got made from Overwatch, and I said no, and so did Retro, so did Vin. Like we play these games. So some people, like I brought the question up, and I'll switch to degradation earlier. I brought the subject up to some people in my community. I'm like, what do you think about the Blizzard? We weren't in, influencing them to make this decision. We were asking them, what do you think about what's going on? The younger crowd. And the younger crowd, and what I've kind of got from it was, it affects my personal interests. I don't support it. It's the game they like. They won't support they won't support what's going on to these people. It's sad, but it's not their fault. And they have to learn what's going on. But me personally, I don't support them. I boycott Blizzard. You guys can tell me what you guys think and give your personal interest on that matter. But boycott
Just
Blizzard for me.
Right. What?
just to see relay what the chat is saying. The whole chat agrees. They're saying it's horrible, it's disgusting. Some people are hearing this for the first time and they're in fucking shock with what's happening. And yeah, and we had a small incident in our community where there are people that just love, like Trey says, they love these games. These games are staples in the gaming community. Like he said, Overwatch, WoW, Diablo. I'm fucking torn myself because I've never played Diablo 2, and my first opportunity was going to be in a couple months with Diablo 2 remaster releases. But I'm still conflicted. I go, do I give these dudes $60 more for what they're doing? And but I'm just torn. Like unless they fix their issue, I think the game is due to release in October. Unless we see something happening, them getting sued, them fucking firing and arresting or prosecuting in any way all the people that were involved, I think I'm not gonna give Blizzard my money for all this time. And just like Craze, I had Overwatch. We were actually getting really pretty into it right before the controversy. We were, hopping into quick play every now and then, having fun with the game. But this hit and we're out. Vin?
The people in chat are asking for more details on how the legal process is going forward, and
That's your
I
department.
myself, I myself am very thrilled by legal process, and currently, it all started with the California opening a public. Not investigation, because this investigation has been happening for 2 years already, but they opened the actual legal process towards Blizzard for uh, the the divergence of salaries for women employees, all the abuse and all this kind of stuff. So there were just allegations back then. Right now, Blizzard failed again and again to refute these allegations. So every single time that they fail to do that, it becomes a little bit more stronger, more evidence appears, and to the states to actually prosecute somebody, they need to have like a lot of evidence to do that. So the two names that were legally cited in the whole document was Alex Afrasiabi and J. Allen Brackett. J. Allen Brackett was the president of the Blizzard in general, and he was named for failing to handle all these situations where the female employees were being mistreated, being abused by their coworkers. And Alex Afrasiabi was named for actually abusing the female workers, and he was the guy who kind of pushed the Cosby suit forward. There's a screenshot. I don't know where it is right now. I think it's Kotaku. I'll take it later and maybe show it to you guys. But you can find it on the internet as well. But there's a screenshot that shows these guys talking to each other through messages, and Alex Efraziabi. This last name is very difficult for me to say. I'm just going to refer as Alex now. But Alex was saying something like bringing the girls to the Cosby suit, and other names appeared that there. And one of the names is Jess McCree, who names a character in Overwatch. He's like a very famous game designer, a very high tier dude, and he used the sentence. They were saying something about bringing the girls, and he said something like, "You misspelled saying fuck," implying that they're gonna fuck the employees in the Cosby suit. So it's very disgusting, to be honest. And you know this led to a lot of other implications towards Blizzard. J. Allen Brack he stepped down, right? He was invited to step down, to be honest. And they put like two president members now, a man and a woman, sorry. And they too are they're kind of new blood on Blizzard and Activision in general. The woman, I don't know their names, but one guy is from the Xbox team, and the other person, the woman, is from a company that was recently merged with Activision, and they're actually the responsible for making Tony Hawk's new games, which have been received positively by the critics. And now Francis Townsend has stepped down. It's because Francis Townsend was involved in this case by trying to take this, saying she implied that it never happened to her, so it probably never happened to any other women in the company. But it's not even symmetrical. She's like the hugest boss in the fucking company. Nobody's gonna step on her toes. Nobody's gonna cube. She doesn't even have a cube to be crawled under. So it's very tough to compare yourself, like the head of a company, to a female employee who just entered a very toxic
Hmm.
environment. It's not
You know what,
symmetrical.
Vin? You know what's funny about
Hmm.
that? Look up Frances Townsend. She don't. She's not just the head. She's not the top boss in anything. Look her up. She used to be part of the cabinet of one of our presidents, presidential cabinets. She was a part of it, and you got to hear what she used to be in charge of. She, the most controversial thing that, well, one of the most funny things that they've caught her on is when they were at the public was asking her about if we torture our prisoners. So if you guys want to get a good laugh, go check out Frances Townsend torture. Just look for it. It's
She
basically
was
her.
she was
Yeah, go
part
on.
of the waterboarding
But
controversy, right? Back
yeah,
in the George Bush days.
yeah,
Fuck,
when Bush,
really?
yeah, so he's part of the George Bush cabinet. It was you gotta hear her, man. Like she just couldn't. But I just wanted to throw that little in there because she has that experience from before when it came to like being in these situations, and now all of a sudden she's like her tweet that started all this was so desensitized, like those so desensitive. As a woman, you shouldn't be that sensitive to something like this. I get it; it's your job, but there's a line. There's a moral line that you can't cross. You got to remember who you are.
I
Well,
think
she
there's no
got a
morals
fuck ton of
there.
money to pay for her
Yeah,
morals,
Yeah.
obviously, but
yeah, no
Speaking of
moral
money,
testimony.
Blizzard and Activision, they lost the sponsorship from three big companies so far, and
Yes.
that's when things start to hit in the pocket.
yeah, that's the
That's
only important
now we're
thing.
gonna see a lot of changes coming. I bet you, because if you start cutting the money, dude, people start
Yep.
to go away.
Vote
Something
with your
some
dollars.
something that I think about it. Blizzard used to be one of my favorite companies. I grew up with Diablo 2. It still might be like my top 3 favorite games ever. Very different times, obviously, so I don't it has no bearing on what's happening right now. But what I'm thinking about is, in my mind, Blizzard is this fucking holy company that can do no wrong until they got taken over by Activision. Did all of this stuff go on before the
Before the merge,
because that's what
before the merge,
I couldn't find anything about
way
that.
before.
Really?
Yeah, it's old shit. It's old shit. Alex actually was the responsible for the big expansions of WoW. Wow. So back in the day, back in the golden days, and it's been for years now. There's things dating from 2006, maybe even before that.
Holy shit. I didn't know that one
And
either.
that's insane. Like they were the
It's been
people's
happening for a
company.
while.
That's
The
weird.
investigation is only 2 years old. The investigation is only 2 years old, and they got all this crap. So that's old shit. That's all. And there's another thing. The HR head was also fired from the company, and Alex was. Now they admit that Alex was fired for misconduct. So the HR guys,
Ah.
when a female employee came to complain about the situations, they would try to put warm. I don't know the term for that. They would try to make this less noisy, They
Like
try
blow it
to,
Right, yeah.
off, and
yeah,
rush it
yeah,
under the rug type situation.
exactly.
Right.
They would try to silence these women, so it would never reach the big guys, Alex, Brack, all these dudes that McCree, all these guys. They were safe because they were all friends. It was actually a very frat. They were all from Alpha Omega, and the women were the enemies, dude. So that's what happened. And now the head of HR has been fired from his position for being incompetent.
And
Wow.
to add a little to the topic, how long does everybody think it will take for all of this to? Will you think it will blow over like most
One
news of
year.
the internet? Like people will just forget about it.
What?
Diablo 2 gets released, everybody gives their
Yeah.
Yes.
$60,
Yes.
Yes.
or will
Yes.
people you think stay with the boycott and not buy their shit and wait?
No.
Remember that, like you said, Diablo 2 Remastered. That's
Yeah.
a big draw. Overwatch 2 coming up next year. That's another big draw. Like WoW's been in decline for a while, but it's still
Mhm.
one of the most grossing games out there.
Yeah.
They can't. Activision cannot afford to let this shit go on.
Yeah, so they're
If
gonna
they-
settle it. They're gonna pour some money into it and make it go away as soon as
Activision.
possible.
Bro,
Activision
you
should
think
be worried. Activision should be
yo,
worried because if you see the money that Call of Duty brings in comparison to WoW, WoW is just a tiny fucking gnome close to Call of Duty.
hmm
Call of Duty makes like let's say I don't know the numbers from the top of my head, but let's say Call of Duty makes like $100 million. World of Warcraft makes like $14 million a year. That's in comparison. It's more than that, but that's a comparison from between titles. And so when you have sponsorships being taken off Call of Duty, which is this huge money making machine, because of these tiny guys from World of Warcraft, if I were Activision's boss, I would be like, dude, stop this right now. Everybody out. I would solve this problem
yeah,
so
quickly.
you think they will pump in money to? Or do you think they'll pump in money to fix the issue with their employee, or do you think they will
No, I
pump
think
in money
no.
to hide it?
No, I think
PR
they
and
would they would need to be stressed to actually send these guys to where they belong to and fix the company. They would
Yeah.
intervene more in Blizzard because I think so far they've not been intervening a lot. It's just like the merging and publishing, but now I think Activision is going to take the reins and actually control
hmm
Blizzard.
Real
Like,
quick, Colwell gave us the numbers that Vin was looking for: 10 billion for Call of Duty last year compared to 1.5 billion for WoW last year.
yeah.
That's
WoW is
insane.
tiny. WoW is
Insane
one Call of
difference.
Duty, one Call of Duty. WoW is been like 14, 15 years going on.
hmm
One
Like,
Call of Duty.
think about this. There's no set amount of any amount of money available, even for Activision, to cover this thing up. It's already gone public. This is a
Yeah.
public execution right now. Now you're on the chopping block. You have one thing to do: get rid of your structure. Get rid of them. Rehire. Take them out. Restructure your HR. Do more quality control. And that's it. You're gonna have to restructure them. Your game is gonna keep on going. Forget about the hierarchy. The hierarchy, they're not the ones that make the game. They remember. Yeah, I gotta say one thing. Since there was something that said that after like 3 years ago. I don't know if it was Francis Townsend or the president of Blizzard, the one who just stepped down.
Brack?
He doubled the actual value of the franchise. They doubled it in the last 3 years. That massive bonus he got of 100 and something, $165 million bonus, it wasn't because of the game in itself in that moment. It's because he doubled the value of the actual franchise. But it still doesn't matter. Let's make it do a good job. Or in a way, I feel bad for him because in all the lawsuits, he's not involved because he's a president. Remember, you're guilty by association. It happened under you. This
For
is why he's
years.
gone. Yeah, this is why it's gone. Like you couldn't have said that you didn't know about this. He may not even touched a lady. He might have not done anything the other guys did or taking part of it. Or because it happened under you, there's no possible way that you as administrator do not know what happens under you.
Personally,
Everything
I
gets
think he
heard.
didn't. I think he
Yeah.
didn't touch
I
anybody. He just failed to
no,
address
yeah.
the situation.
Yeah. I think it was more like these are the guys I work with for years. It's one of the boys. What are the boys, right? And that's what happens. Now, he's gone. And that was one move, like whatever. But you still got more to do, man. If you want the full comeback from your support, you got to get rid of the other guys. This lady, what's her name? Frances Townsend. What is she now? The CCO now? She stepped down as one position, but the CCO is there. Like
Yeah.
all you did was a lateral move, or you didn't do anything.
But Craze, there's a good sign of change for the new two presidents of Blizzard because these two guys were not Blizzard old blood. I think they're not even Blizzard before that happened because the woman was for the Tony Hawk guys. I think she did Guitar Hero, so very good titles. And the other guys from Xbox, he was the guy. He was a very active World of Warcraft player, but also he helped develop the Xbox services. He was working on their BattleNet, so they're really new. They're from like the beginning of this
Yeah.
year, So there's new blood in the presidential staff. As a World of Warcraft player, I think Brack leaving is actually quite good for us because he was one of the guys that dismissed Classic back in the day when people said, you think you want it, but you don't. and then they released Classic, and was the biggest huge success that World of Warcraft had in the past few years. So it's nice to see people that are not really biased towards their titles right now. That's my thoughts in the future, and I think that even if Warcraft 3 Reforged didn't destroy Blizzard's reputation, it's not gonna be this that is also gonna prevent them from being successful in the future with Diablo 2. So I don't expect them to be canceled. I just want them to address these situations. I kind of believe in corporative recovery. If you change the people, if you change the culture, if the state keeps like nagging them, you're gonna do your job and you're gonna do it right. I don't mind people coming back to play their games because the games are actually good. We shouldn't blame the entire corporation because there's good people there, but also they need to change and address this kind of situation. They need to have like an efficient and ethical humans resource staff, people that is going to care for the minorities, because the gaming industry is already too conservative. We like to think that the nerds are the good guys, but the nerds are actually the bad dudes, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They're the
they're the
first
new
ones to be
bullies.
very, yeah, they're the first one to be very misogynistic. They're the first one to be very racist. So we need to keep an eye out for this kind of stuff.
Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let me end this topic on one more, maybe a twist on this story, another perspective, because we all agree that this is fucking disgusting. But I'm still in the camp that a lot of people are in. I think that I fucking love Blizzard games, and I'm still very excited about Diablo 2 Resurrection, and like I'm not much of a Warcraft or a Overwatch guy, and definitely not much of a Call of Duty guy, but I am going to play Diablo 2 Resurrected. And that is a question of separating the art from the artist, a very popular thing to say about people that, like musicians that molest people and then still make a good song.
MJ, Michael Jackson.
I understand that we should boycott Blizzard, and I'll do that for the most part, but in the end, I am a very selfish person, and I want to enjoy my life, and I want to play that game. And like I don't feel like I should be the wind of change in the world sometimes. There's all of these topics like Black Lives Matter, trans rights, all these very big movements. We all agree with it, right? But I don't always feel like I have to join in, even though gaming is my thing, right? It's very important to me, but I'm not gonna give this one up. What would you guys say in response to someone as fucking cold as me?
If you can wait a little bit, just a little bit, I will ask you to wait a little bit before buying the game.
Right.
Everybody can play I might play Diablo 2 as well.
I'm not in a rush,
I might
but-
return to World of Warcraft, or I don't know tomorrow. But the thing is, if you can wait just a little bit to let them have the financial impact to evolve into change, perfect. Then after that, dude, they changed the members. The company is trying to do their best now. Buy the game, support the guys. Tell them you're doing the things right now. So if you screw up again, I don't buy anymore. Leave the message that we talk the money talk. So leave the message that until the change comes, there is no buying. That's the only thing that I ever asked of somebody, because I don't want people to
Right.
penalize themselves for their errors of another company as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, my only opinion on this whole topic was that I'm conflicted. Like, I know that voting with your dollars is the most effective thing that you could do on anything.
The
Voting
only
with
thing.
dollars is number one. So I'm gonna say, just like Vince said, I'm gonna wait. If I see they're on the right path of getting the shit together, Diablo 2, because you played Diablo, you probably played it for 10 years. I played, my only experience is Diablo 3, but I played it for 4 or 5 years. So it's not going to go anywhere. So Diablo 2
Mhm.
will remain there for a long time. I'll probably just put my dollars in when I feel they've done enough changes, and I'll still play it. Like I don't need to play it on October day one.
Probably
I'll
save some money in the process. Get it on
and
sale.
I'll just wait.
Absolutely right.
Boom. If they don't get their shit together until January 2022, then January 2022 they get my $60 for Diablo 2.
Right.
That's how I see it.
All right, let's
Overwatch
let's
doesn't
end
really
it
know.
on that because I feel like we could talk about this all day. Let me see if I missed anything in chat. Just because you like the products doesn't mean you condone what's been going on, says Miss Hyde. You can enjoy their games and still be pissed at them. That's true, but yeah, if you want to hurt them,
Yeah, but like
the money
I
is the
would
only
say
way,
that
like
for the
Retro
games
says.
that you already have. Like if you're playing Overwatch now and you're not buying their skins or giving them any extra money other
Right.
than the ones you already did years ago, that I could see in slide. Wow, not as much because you got to keep giving them money every month. So you're still, voting with your dollars in that
They
way.
did a cool thing in WoW. Because people normally pay for like 6 months of subscription once, and
Right.
they started doing protests online. So we already paid for this shit, so let's make the best of it. So they would gather together in the main city thing and just be there like protesting. That's kind of good, to be honest.
That
It,
that
it brings it brings turmoil.
that's the end of my end.
Yeah.
We did our part. We did our part. It's
Right.
just getting
Just by
it
holding
into the
off, you mean?
public eye. It's just
Talking
doing your
about
part
it,
to get
right.
it to the public eye. What did we do? They literally lost the Overwatch League, which is their huge source of income. They lost sponsorships all over the place. You hit them in the pocket. That's it. It's in the public eye. This point, it's on their desk now. It's in their hands. What they want to do to recover what they've lost. You want to keep playing the game? Hey, that's up to you. I'm not gonna look at you different. We're not gonna look at you any different about that. But we already did our job. We just got to keep on going. Next year, you already know the next new title coming out. I'm excited for all of them. Like I said, I'm a Blizzard guy.
Yeah.
But hey, if
The
nobody
Blizzard
takes an
guy.
action, if nobody takes the next step, we're never gonna get anywhere for anything that you're fighting for. Just remember that.
Righty. All right, and with that, Retro taking a piss, we will take a quick shenanigan break.
He didn't hear you.
That's good. Yeah, no, I want everybody listening to this podcast. I'm talking right into your ear right now. Imagine Retro, a supple, large Dominican man, like a smooth top of the head, but a fuzzy, like wonderful, good amount of beard at the bottom, unzipping his pants slowly. Of course, he wants to enjoy this. This is his moment. And he's just dropping his pants right now. I know for a fact that the man's a sitter while he pees. So he's taking off his pants, his underwear, slowly popping a squat, very slowly. He's going to enjoy this shit. He's been building up to this for almost an hour that this podcast has been going. And he's just letting it slide. He's probably whistling. I feel like he probably... He's probably whistling as he goes. And slowly but surely draining his bladder. You know the feeling. Best feeling in the world. At this point, I don't know if he uses like a little piece of toilet paper to wipe the front of his foreskin. Because he has that. You're welcome, everyone. Yeah. He's done wiping his foreskin now. Probably, that's too quick. He probably didn't do that. And now he's back, sitting down.
If he snips his hand, we know he did it.
Retro, sniff
Yeah.
your hand. Sniff your hand real quick. What's it smell like?
Vape.
Sweet ammonia. Sweet ammonia.
Retro sugar, everyone. All right. Next topic is a topic by Vin. I like to switch the topics up quite radically because we talk for a half hour about every one. So we need difference in tone. And the topic is going to be different pizzas from around the world. Is there a limit to creative food? Right, Finn, take it away.
My friends, this is my jurisdiction. So, I've been talking to you guys for a while now, and I've been noticing that South America in general can be very wild when it comes to their food. And, um, degradation was also in Italy for the past month, I think. And there's probably a shock of culture here because here in Brazil, at least, we put everything on pizzas. Everything you can imagine. There's somebody who put that on a pizza. So when I order a pizza, I get like cheese, I get tomatoes, I get um, everything on top of that. If you eat meat, you can get like ham, and your imagination is the limit. But lately, the biggest controversy that I've been facing is the use of condiments. So there's people who don't agree with ketchup on pizza. There's people who don't agree with mayonnaise, but most of them don't agree with ranch on pizza. I myself am a liberal, so I agree with pretty much everything. It's your pizza, my dude. You put everything you want on that. But I wanted to hear you guys' opinions.
A very
All right.
the most controversial topic we can have, I think.
I'll start.
All right,
Vin
praise.
was a pizza
True.
newbie. He thinks that Pizza Hut is good pizza, which, you know, is probably because from, people that are just in the States or haven't left their country at all, these food chains vary from location to location. Pizza Hut in New York is considered shit pizza because we made pizza better than the Italians. So all the mom and pop pizza shop is the staple. Um, Pizza Hut, Domino's, but Domino's is like okay. Pizza Hut, I can't even get it. Craze can't even get it. It's so bad here. They only have like probably 2 locations in the whole city, and none of them are even close to me for me to give it a second try. So when it comes to pizza, we made it better. Chicago deep dish is not real pizza. It's just a pasta. Fuck
We
them.
don't acknowledge them.
And we recently learned, I haven't fact checked this, but one member of our community stated that Hawaiian pizza was actually made by Canadians. So if you're one of those pineapple on pizza haters, you can blame Canada for it.
That
But
explains it.
Blame Canada.
but to me with pizza, like he was saying about ranch, Stryker says it's amazing. Stryker is a chef, so he probably knows what he's talking about more than we do. But I've tried it. I don't knock anything. Like I hate people that automatically when you say pineapple on pizza, they say ew. And I bet you that half of them haven't tried it. It's just an internet meme like Nickelback is bad music or something.
So what
Most of
I
these kids haven't heard it.
what I recently learned about that fact, like pineapple on pizza being not okay, is it stems from Italy actually, uh, and Italy is a land of tradition. So especially when it comes to pizza, they'll get pissed off if you put something wrong on that. Which I, for one, I'm not a proponent of messing with what people want. I did go to this one restaurant where they had amazing award-winning pizzas, and they said on the menu, you can add everything you want, but please don't do it because the pizzas we create are perfect as they are. I'm a big proponent of that because they know better what they're doing than I am. But Italians fucking hate pineapple on pizza. And I think they took that with them when they went to the States.
I'm gonna be a little controversial here.
Oh,
Fucking
fuck.
Italians are fucking snobs. That's all it is. Because anything that is not pizza made in Italy in an Italian brick oven to them is not pizza, which is bullshit. Because that's not what they're selling here in New York. In New York, they're not making Italian style pizza. They're making New York style pizza, and that's their money maker. So get fuck out of here with all your. Oh no,
Yeah.
this is the original. This is how it's made because we created it. You created it. We made it famous. So shut the fuck up.
Bro,
We
listen.
made
my
it
dad,
better.
Listen,
Exactly.
dude. My dad owned a pizza shop for 12 years. I had made pizza for like 8 years out of those 12. And I gotta say, if you don't, anybody can eat whatever they want. But I got two gripes. I got two gripes with some of y'all fools. What the fuck is Canadian bacon? That is not bacon. That shit is ham.
What is
Don't
that?
get it twisted.
I've never heard
That
of
is
that.
ham, bro. That is chopped up fat ham. There's fat chunks of ham. That shit is not bacon.
Yeah.
Canadians, don't get it twisted. Second, Chicago, get it together. That's not a pizza. That shit is literally a pie. You're making a pot pie. And at that, it is a tomato sauce pot pie. New York for the win. You can keep the hot dogs in Chicago. But New York is where it's at. And we still get criticized because, of course, the Italians in New York, the bobbity boobities, the real, the real ones, the ones that don't watch the ones that don't watch The Sopranos because it's fake.
I'm
They say
walking
clearly.
here.
Yeah, I'm walking here. Fuck out of here.
My favorite.
Those guys, they say clearly, the New York pizza is a disgrace because they feel that it's not authentic. And I get it, but remember, everybody has their own thing as long as it follows the structure. That's pretty much it. It's a structure for pizza.
What is
You gotta follow
pizza?
it, you're good.
It is what you create in your own mind. A pizza
It just sounds
is
like
just a piece of dough,
Okay,
circular
and
piece
we
of
have-
dough, and you can put on
Sorry.
it whatever the fuck you want.
And we have the resident chef of this community, Mr. Stryger, saying that Canadian bacon is ham. So it's been concluded. Canada, you fucked up twice
Right.
in this podcast already.
Right.
I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
2 strikes. 2 strikes.
Yeah,
also
Stryga is
brought
a
One strike in Canada. Canada is out of Earth now.
Stryga is a community member that is currently working at a pizza place. Well, not necessarily pizza place, but a place that sells very good and a lot of pizza. And that's as close as we're going to get to an expert here.
What's the best thing that Canada gave us? Tom Green, right? And that's it.
Maple syrup.
Oh, true.
I
Maple
never
syrup and
ate
Tom Green.
maple syrup in my whole life.
Dude, I
have no
drink it
idea how it
mostly in
tastes.
my beer. There's a lot
Maple
of
syrup?
beers with maple syrup. Not putting it in there myself, but the brewers do it, and it's
Diabetes from a branch. That's what it is.
yes, it's good.
Have
Yeah, the
y'all
only
seen
place
how
I ever
they-
ate maple syrup is on Stardew Valley, so I don't know how it tastes.
Have you seen how they take the maple out of the trees? Like they hammer a little metal tube on it, clack,
Yeah,
clack,
yeah,
clack,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
just put buckets under, and the tree basically just pees it out into the bucket.
And then they just
Like a
fucking
little-
leave. And
like a
it's
little
still
spigot?
fucking expensive. I don't get it.
I think it's just because it's the way they did get it is not that common. That the other ones that we actually process. I can see that. But yeah, damn it, Vin. You and your damn flamboyant pizzas, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a place here in Brazil called Pizzaria Bate-Papo. And these guys, they're like when fashion starts like they do the walk things. So the models are wearing very exaggerated clothing that's gonna represent the trends for this next season. That's Pizzaria Bate-Papo when it comes to pizzas. They make the extravagantic pizzas with the size of like a room, or with a fucking car tire in the middle, or like a whole chicken on top of it. And this dictates the next season for us, That's when people start putting more bacon and things. That's when people start putting more, I don't know how the names in English, sorry about that, but, everything else. More cheese, different cheeses. Dude, I just ate one of the best pizzas of my whole life last week. And it had like brie cheese, it had dried tomatoes. It was fucking awesome. So everything we have, we owe it to Pizzaria Bate-Papo.
Mrs. Craze brought up a weird pizza. Mrs. Craze in chat said, "Have you ever tried s'mores pizza?" Can you
I'll
explain what
explain
your
that.
wife is talking about? Yeah, because I
Yes,
have no
please
idea.
do.
So a s'mores pizza is basically is actually a dessert that one of the this can be a one thing only from where we are. It's basically it looks like the crust, like the dough is just like it's like a crepe kind of thing. The sauce is Nutella. It has like graham crackers on it and like marshmallow, and they bake it. That's what the s'mores pizza. That's what they call it up here. But it's actually just a
A big
dessert.
s'mores.
A big s'mores like that. But it's just in the form of pizza.
Oh, so yeah,
So-
no, Mrs.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr.
That does
Stryker
sound amazing.
confirmed That that they're even gonna put it in their restaurant menu possibly.
Yeah. So like Striker knows that my guy Striker knows what's going on there. And by the way, Gabriella is like Rachel said is my wife. So shout out to my wife in the chat. But
Shut
yeah,
up.
like that thing, I can't eat it. I can't eat more than one. Half of that slice that they give you, I can't eat it. It is so sweet. It is too sweet for me.
Yeah, that sounds like you take 1 or 2 bites and that's it. Like, just
Diabetes.
put it on the side. Yeah,
I want to bring this to a next level. All right.
for sure.
There is one thing that I've been advocating for a while now, which is my famous lasagna sandwich. And I know,
You have been doing
it's
that,
not
yes.
it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. But what I want to know is that you guys have your own personal. Crazy is going mad because
Damn.
Crazy knows a little twist about my lasagna sandwich that makes it a little bit more special. But I want to know you guys. What's your favorite unorthodoxical recipe for food?
Oh shit, that's a tough one.
Holy shit, making us think, dude. It's
When
10 a.m.
Oh,
Well,
sorry,
God
sorry.
damn it. Sunday words, bro. Sunday words.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
because
Go ahead, it's Sunday.
I've been advocating the lasagna sandwich for a while, and Craze tried. Craze actually tried. I commend you
very
for
good,
that,
very
man.
good.
I respect you forever. He didn't like it though. He found it too dry for his taste.
Oh, it
You
wasn't
need
the
like
dry part.
liquids. You need liquids to make it go. But
Right.
It wasn't the dry part.
All right, one.
he tried with Italian bread, but then I told him that when I did my lasagna sandwich, I actually took a Big Mac, I opened it, put a lasagna slice in the middle, and closed it and eat it.
Imagine that Big Mac with
Bro.
lasagna.
You're a
When
mad
would I
genius,
ever-
Finn.
It was
When would I
good, my
ever
dude. It
think-
was good.
Bro, when would I ever think that he said between two sesame seed buns? Do you know how big a lasagna is? I'm not thinking of sesame seed buns. So I got myself some. Listen, the experience was
Yes, tell
you
us.
guys.
Review it
you
for
guys
us.
have you guys have your lasagna like always, and it's very common to have some lasagna with garlic bread.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit overkill with starch, but it's still a good combo, right? Imagine you doing that shit with two of them like this, right? And you trying to bite into that. All I'm getting down is straight dryness starch here. It won't go down. I'm not by this point. I don't even taste the sauce anymore because it's all bread. I'm having bread and pasta. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to have another. Maybe I took a little sliver of it, bro. After that, I was pooping out boulders.
You need wetter lasagna. That's what you need, I think.
I needed prune juice for that day.
Oh, shit.
Try with the Big Mac
concept is there.
later. Try with
No,
the Big
Paul.
Mac.
All right, one
Little
one
way.
controversial or creative product I used to eat a lot, which is I don't think I've ever told this to anyone. I know Lena's watching, my girlfriend, and she'll be shocked about this. When I
shit.
went through puberty, I think I was 15 or something. Me and my buddy used to go to the supermarket, get a bag of the cheapest paprika potato chips, which are very common here, like the Lay's, but very cheap because they overload on the herbs and spices on that, and then take a little cup of vanilla pudding with whipped cream on top that they'd sell as is, and we used the chip to dip it out and eat it like that, and it was fucking good.
Oh yeah, that's like eating French fries.
Don't oh
McDonald's
yeah me.
French fries
Don't oh
with,
yeah me.
Sundays. Yeah, but I've done
That's
it.
the craziest thing I got, man.
Nah, you're way too simple, dude.
Fuck.
It's no, I mean,
Fuck.
as far as I know from the Netherlands in general, that's actually very wild.
That's very wild.
So I give you the start of
Thank you.
most wild man in the Netherlands.
Oh wow.
Thank
but
you.
that's
Most
like,
wild
you
man.
never eaten
This is true.
McDonald's French fries and dipped it in your Sunday. People do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
All right, never
ever
mind.
had-
I'm
you ever
I'm
ate
among fucking maniacs here.
This may
Anybody
not
else got
be-
something better?
This is not unorthodox to me or craze, but I've heard other cultures find it that way. We'll eat white rice with scrambled eggs and we'll put ketchup all over it. Yep, that's what, just put ketchup all over your white rice, eat it with your eggs. Fucking delicious.
People's food.
The ketchup doesn't steal the taste of the rice and the egg.
I mean, white rice
mean-
doesn't taste like shit, really.
Yeah,
It's just,
right. I mean,
No,
grind
right.
everything.
Oh.
don't do that.
White,
Don't
no,
do it this
no,
way.
no, yeah, no. White rice is
It has
either
a
oil
taste,
and
but it's
salt.
not
It's
like-
oil
yeah.
and salt. It does. That's not really a taste. It's just either you salted it too much, you undersalted it. Unless you put in some MSG in it, that's on you.
Dude,
don't know
rice
why.
is so good, softy. Oh no, man,
no,
I
but
can't
white rice
agree
is
with that.
to me, white rice is just a bland flavor. Unless you make it in low Creole form, which I won't know how to
Yeah.
explain it in English. or you make it with like beans cooked inside the rice. We do is sometimes as well. It's called a moro, and you can make it with different type of beans, red, black, guandules, shit like that. Then the flavor, then the rice has flavor. But white rice
Retro,
is
I
just
got you.
bland to me.
Retro, I got you right now. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop Vin from coming this blasphemous statement. If you say white rice got a flavor, what the hell does white bread taste like?
What? Wait,
What
what?
does white bread taste like? White bread, plain white bread. What does it taste like?
I don't know. You
Describe the
mean like
flavor.
French bread?
No,
No,
white
Wonder
bread,
bread.
plain white bread, the equivalent of white rice. What is the taste of white bread?
I'd say
I
it
don't
does
know.
taste
I
like
don't
a
know
little
what
bit
white
like
bread is.
wheat and a little bit like
You
salt.
ever had
Hey, it's me, Degradation. Sorry to kind of cut this off right here. This being our first podcast, we faced a good amount of technical issues. But this is in fact the end of episode 1. Now, tune in every Thursday, whether it be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever else place you listen to podcasts on the reg. We'll be there every week. See you then. Bye bye.